Hello, Misfits. Hopefully our stream is going through. We were having a little bit of technical issues, so let us know in the chat if you are seeing this. I'm not seeing it on my device, so I am worried.
I see us.
I see
You do?
oh,
We look so good.
Oh my
Who
God.
are these beautiful humans?
Are we amazing? Okay.
If only we could see you, chat.
Oh, I can see me now. Oh, look at that. My eyebrows are on fleek. All right, let's do it.
Your eyebrows are always on fleek, Callie.
Well, thank you.
I so envy and admire them.
I was so happy when the latest trend, everybody was like, big eyebrows are in. I'm like, finally, it is my moment to shine.
I've been training for this all my life.
I've been tweezing for this all my life.
Yeah, I've been squeezing for this my whole life. All right. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome back to Misfit Table, Isles of Mist. This is our intrepid crew who is going to help us tell the journeys of Isles of Mist, get to know the Isles of Mist world and system. It is a system developed by my husband and myself. We run it after school and during school as educational games for kids, kind of more entry-level TTRPG than D&D. It is very successful, and this is the first live stream outside of that program. So very excited to bring it all to you. We are now in session 3. Our adventurers, the wonderful crew of the Beck and Call, recently had to navigate a mist storm, a magical mist storm. Out of this mist appeared a mysterious figure, which took on the visage of one of the passengers' sister, and then began attacking the crew. She was a snake fan. It was dire. People got down to like 1 aura. But everybody managed to get and make it through. Let's go ahead and introduce the crew of the Beck and Call. Let's start this time with Chad. Introduce a little bit about yourself. Introduce a little bit about your character.
Hi, everybody. My name is Chad Yarish. I am a semi-professional actor, stage, voice, all those things. I've been a long-time gamer, and tonight I will be playing Captain Sky Smelter, who's sort of the ship's mechanic. He came with a ship. He doesn't really know much about what happened before that. And if you touch anything, it'll be your heed.
Wonderful. Chris, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Absolutely. Chris Fitz, you may know me from TikTok, the DMG Fitz. I am a professional dungeon master. I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons for a while, about 8-9 years. Teacher by day, teach little kids, 3rd graders, love them to death. And I am glad to be here. I'm playing Dominic Beck, the captain of the Beck and Call, and I'm glad to be here.
All right, moving on, we will move to Rose. Go ahead and introduce yourself and introduce your character.
Yeah, I am Rose. I'm an early interventionist by day and a gamer by more hours than is probably advisable. And since before I knew that was really a thing I got to identify with. And I play Johnny Greenhollow, a knight bound to Agrona, a Kelpie horse, and out here on the mist with the rest of the crew.
All right, and last but not least, Tori.
Hi, I am Tori Doctor, formerly a professional actor, now a writer of Off the Beaten Path and the Greater Companions trilogy, a choose-your-own adventure style fantasy musical where you can choose the path of the companions, starring Chad Yarish on May 22nd. Some fabulous roles that he'll be playing. Very excited. It'll be 6 p.m. Mountain Time start, and it's going to be awesome. We also write tabletop role-playing game musical themes, and I'm playing Madge. It's very mad, very charming. He doesn't remember much of anything. He has the memory of a... What was I going to say? Never mind.
Lovely. And that's great to hear that you and Chad have teamed up. I will definitely be tuning in. I'll grab the details from you guys again. All right. One thing before we begin, I did get a little time to finish up one character portrait.
Now we all know who's your
I'll have them
favorite.
all done. And it is Johnny's character. So Ashton, if you want to pull that up. So I have been an artist on video games, went to school for illustration and character design. And if any of you would like to see a D&D character of yours come to life, I am available. You can email me at callie@storytables.com. So I am available for commissions. This one is of Johnny. I hope you like it, Rose.
Oh, it's amazing. Sorry,
It's so beautiful.
I love it. I was writing your email in the chat because like I want everyone to experience the like excitement I'm having right now at seeing my little brain goblin existing in color and as described and imagined and so incredibly cool. I so love like the way you've kind of captured the expression of the kind of more stoicism and brought in all the different elements we've talked about, including like extrapolating some really cool things from what we've discussed about some character stuff into design elements I hadn't thought of as not an artist. So just like hint out to those in chat, even if you're not an artist, Callie can take your vision and put in those little elements. Like, you know,
I need you as my height. You can like stand around me because I'm normally terrible at it. I'm like, yeah, I got pictures.
It's so much easier to like, you know, expound upon a dear friend than oneself. Thanks society, but it's true. So as someone unaffiliated and not profiting from this, can I just say, it's so cool, go do it, get your own, be able to feel the same joy.
Yay!
Oh, it's awesome. I love it. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's really fun actually to have a little bit more free time lately. Like things are winding down in the school semester, so we're, not doing as many story tables. And I just put on like a Dimension 20 and I get to draw. It's wonderful. All right, so hopefully I can work on the others, and you guys can have them forever and love them forever. I might even print them and send them in the mail, but we'll see if I get it together. I'm not normally that together, so it might just be digital.
You know what? It's enough. Like digital world these days. It's all good. It's all good. It's beautiful.
So does anybody want to, well, I already gave a quick recap of what happened last time. So let's just move right into it. In the aftermath of this fight with this strange mist creature that seems to have been pulled from the memories of Zeldana, the strange passenger on your ship, you guys are left with, just sort of an uneasy feeling. Partially because you were all, magically pushed back into your memories and brought back into the present from that experience. And the mist, as it does, can often play with your minds. The ship is mostly intact. You guys are mostly intact, though you did lose a lot of aura in the fight. Mads was able to heal you before you went to bed that night. So you are able to wake up refreshed without any injuries. The ship does have spikes currently growing out of the deck. They seem to be fused with the ship. They seem to kind of start out as wood and kind of move into a more slick point at the top, very shiny, almost bone-like. And they are a little difficult to remove. So if you would like to remove them, you may the next day, or you can keep them there. The only issue with their placement at this point is that they're in front of your ballista, which is one of the few things that defends your ship.
I'm definitely grinding those down.
Yeah, you might want to be grinding those down as you go. Actually, we're going to be moving into a period of downtime. The mist storm has dissipated. You guys are not in any obvious danger. You guys are flying over the Lost Lake at this point. There are no other land masses around. Occasionally, the ship will move past a sort of broken up bit of the world, a floating island here and there. At one point, you see a petrified tree just, settling out in the mist, holding on to some float stone. But for the most part, this is empty space that you are moving through. What do you guys do in downtime? It sounded like Kyburn, you wanted to potentially grind those spikes down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I want you, while you're, kind of taking your tools to this, you've got that multi-tool. Do you use that at all in this?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
that's, I mean, why else would I have it?
I want you to make a strength test quickly, because this is going to take a little bit of effort, especially since there's no electronic grinding devices in this world.
So that is a 5.
That's all you needed.
Okay.
As you're, grinding these down, you notice that the spikes are hollow inside. The part that really sticks out the most is the part that's kind of like the wood stump area. Can you roll a wisdom test, please?
Oh, that's my lowest day.
We've seen your sheet. For you, that means nothing. Your stats are buck wild.
Well, that's still a D4, and I got a 3.
That is not going to be enough. So yeah, you're able to grind these down. And the deck is definitely bumpier and wavier than it was previously, but nobody's going to accidentally impale themselves anymore.
Would it be possible if the outer spikes are hollow to sort of saw a couple of those off?
Yeah.
And just see if I can make something out of them, like horns or a flute or mugs or whatever.
Sure. Yeah, you grind some of them down. Roll a wisdom test. Let's see what you could potentially make out of these.
Hey, that's a 4 on a D4.
A 4 and a 4, that is what we call, I think it's called beginner's luck. So a 4 out of 4 counts as a 5, which is a standard DC. So you're looking at this, it does have a very horn-like quality to it. So anything that you could potentially make out of horn, you could make using this. You also notice that the point is very, very sharp. And at the very, very point of it, there is a tiny, tiny little hole. Not super big, but a tiny, tiny little hole. So this could be used to make a pen. It could be used to as an injection system. You can do a lot with this.
Okay. Keep that in mind.
All right. The days are passing. Is there what would you guys like to do during this time? The ship is going pretty smoothly. Our beautiful crew, Deborah, Trevor, and Troy, and of course our beautiful little mushkin mushroom person Squish is, busy keeping the show going as well.
I'd like to head up.
Sorry, Matt.
That's all right. It
it.
happens all the time. But I was just wondering, is the crow's nest available for a little bit of, look around, shut eye? What? I mean, look around. When I said shut eye, I didn't mean sleeping, because you blink when you're looking out. So that's when you shut your eyes. Yes.
Trevor normally takes up, spends a lot of time up in the crow's nest navigating to make sure there's no float stone islands going by. You ask him of this. He looks at you up and down and he says, "Sure, you can head up, but I'm coming up behind you."
Oh, well, enjoy the view. Oh, what?
He doesn't know quite what to do with that. And he says, yeah, up then.
All right, up and away. Come on, Crusher, you're with me. And my little otter goes around my neck, warming me, cuddling, nuzzling.
Like an airport pillow, except we're in the mist. Missport? Something like that. just right there, like a stole, but so much better.
A storm with a heartbeat.
You get up in the crow's nest. This is the highest point of the ship. You get to see the other sails billowing around you, including the ones that come out on the side that sort of steer it and tilt it along, I think, like the x-axis. You are also given a demonstration by Trevor of this long periscope that's anchored to the side of the crow's nest. He says, I mean, there's not a lot to see right now, but that's how I was able to locate the island before we came up on it the other day. So take a look. It's not much to see right now, but sometimes I use it to look out at the stars.
Wait, is Trevor Patrick Warburton?
I mean, they know each other.
There's not a lot to see up there right now. There's a wall there.
Oh, that was great.
That was really good.
Oh.
You can be Trevor if you want.
Remind me to get you to do my voicemail, Chad. That sounded great.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Patrick Warburton's advice and take a look at the sky around and narrate as I look and see everything. Oh, look, a cloud. That one looks like, that looks like my left leg if it were up in the air. Or maybe that's an arm. I don't know. They both have joints. Yes. Do I see anything out there?
Go ahead and roll a wit test.
Well, okay, if you insist. That's my D12.
I was gonna say that means it's either a D4 or a D12. We'll find out which.
Oh, no in between.
Rolled a 3.
Oh gosh.
That's a chat.
What is that at the base of the leg?
You get too into it. You're like, this is like my bunny that I had back in kindergarten. His name was Mr. Fluffy Kids.
You're looking out at the clouds. It takes you a while to determine what it is, but it's definitely an arm-shaped cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Trevor, I can see an arm. Gotta hand it to you.
Trevor looks at you and he's like, this guy, he's a crazy
Yes,
person.
the sky. I'm looking at the sky.
You're doing a very good job too. I'm going to take this rope and tie it around your waist for safety. And
All right.
just as you're lowering down, also keep it on. Don't take it off until you are back on deck.
Oh, is this for my safety?
This is for everyone's safety.
I have skill, agility, style, and grace like no other, Trevor. I bet you even I could outdance you on a jig just on the very edge of this crow's nest. I'm very talented.
Oh, I'm sure you're very talented, but you know what? How about we have that dance contest down on the deck later tonight?
Fantastic! I'll hold you to it, Trevor, but not to me. Not without your consent.
He backs up and goes down the crow's nest.
Oh no.
Oh, I'll miss you. See you tonight.
Anybody else? What would you like to be doing with your downtime?
Given where we're sailing through, in addition to just sort of, generally occasionally kind of checking in, kind of walking the ship, making sure everything seems to be going all right, I want to definitely make sure to take some time to head into kind of the galley and just be present for our lovely Lady of Lemon Bars, who I know that she shared with us, right, that this is where she used to be. This is a place that she used to work, where she had friends, and they were all lost to the mists here. So there's not really much that can be said for. Oh my goodness, we just had like a cacophony of gifts. Sorry, that was wow. Thank you, Dream Corp. Wow.
Oh my goodness, look at that. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh.
Cool.
Wow, the
That's-
Dream Corps are like coming through.
He's one of my players in one of my games, and I wasn't expecting that. I was like, oh, okay.
All right, how do I join the Dream Corps? All right. Well, thank you. But yeah, there's not much that can be said about a grief like that, but I just want to make sure to kind of be there to just kind of awkwardly ask if there's tasks I can do to help in the kitchen that are all 100% an excuse to just remind her of the living, and while she is here with the memories of the dead.
Yeah, sure. You are able to go down into the galley. You spent a lot of time there. As you know, there are some dominoes down there. Deborah is happy to teach you the game. Squish plays the game, but mostly he just moves the tiles whenever Deborah says to move a tile, because of his little body. He's like 6 inches tall, so he's just like, yeah, I'm helping. You start talking to Deborah, and she's just so happy for the company. She's like, oh, I just she's feeding you. You gain like a little bit of weight probably. She's like,
it's fine. The armor has straps.
yeah, you can let out the straps. That's fine. She says it's just so nice to be back, on the ship with a crew and providing for them. And, I always thought Trevor and Troy would be out on the lake with their dad. And that never happened. He was out on the lake when the world shattered, when that prophet broke everything apart, and he fell with the lake. A lot of people did, and I'm lucky that my boys, I have them still, but it took me a long time to find their dad. I actually was I was awakened. I wasn't born like they were, and I've been around for a long time, and it took me near 60 years to find their father. And then, another 10 for us to decide to have kiddos. And I'm grateful for the time that we had, but he really should have been here. And I taught Trevor and Troy all I could on the lakes near the Great Forest. And that's actually where we found Squish, out in the Great Forest. Didn't we, Squish? And Squish goes, with his little mushroom head. And she says, the Great Forest is such a strange and wild place. It was always kind of rough getting to the lake. And I always wondered if it was worth it. But, being out here in the skies and seeing Trevor and Troy just really taken to it, I know it was the right thing to do.
Absolutely. You've been with them every step of the way.
Yeah. And what about you? You're from Lysa. My gosh, that place just got liberated the other day. That place has had a rough history. My gosh.
New times now, opening up, and a hopeful future.
Yeah.
But I understand. I'm sure you're so excited for the future of your boys, but that doesn't mean that the past doesn't leave a mark, stay with you.
Oh, yeah. It certainly leaves a mark. Trevor doesn't talk a lot as much as he did back when he was younger, before his dad left. And, Troy was younger, so I think he had an easier time of it. But, oh my goodness. And you hear the whistle of a teapot. She says, hold on just a second. 1 second. And she takes the tea out of the fireplace, the tea kettle out of the fireplace. Summoned by the whistle of the tea, Zeldana comes up to Deborah and says, it's ready then? And she says, oh yes, we're just reminiscing. Both of us here were affected by the shattering, as I'm sure you were too. But yeah. Anyway, we can do the best we can after what the prophet did. And Zeldana, is blowing on her tea, and she says, "False prophet." And Deborah says, "What?" And Zeldana says, "The false prophet. That was not the real prophet. The real prophet is still coming." And Deborah says, "Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, some people are saying that, aren't they? The real prophet's still to come and all that." And Zeldana says, "Many people say that. Just
whatever the prophet may be, or may not be, we're here now, and we can."
Well, I just think, and you can see Zeldana, this has sort of struck a nerve with her, that when people talk about the shattering event, they should talk about the false prophet, the pretender. That was not the prophet, and it's insulting. And she just sort of gets uncomfortable and leaves. Squish kind of looks over at her and jumps and floats off the side of the table and follows her to her room. You guys have noticed that Squish is taking a sort of a liking to Zeldana. Zeldana isn't the most personable person, if you haven't noticed. But the Munchkin doesn't seem to care. He likes to sit next to her while she sings to herself, which is often, and she's often reading. Occasionally, you will see her in the mess hall reading different books. She seems to like books of poetry, and also books about history of Selida, which is a land further away. The one you're actually heading to, in fact.
Yeah, that's where we're going, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I will, thank Deborah, because I know it can be tricky when trying to balance everything, but I'm glad to have your care, and I'm sure your boys are too. And we can't bring anybody back, but to whatever extent the body can come back in a song or a story or a memory, I hope you know that, we're here and we have ears and we're ready.
Oh, well, that's very kind of you.
No.
I mean, I have a lot of stories about my husband if you want to hear them.
Tell me teaching me how to make these again.
Well, yes. Awesome. I can do that. And she starts cooking. She starts regaling you with stories about her and how her husband met. It was kind of like an enemies to lovers situation. You're riveted. You're like, wow, what a storied past this woman has lived. And you calculated out however old she was at the awakening event. You're not sure. But at this point, she's like probably like 84 years old. She doesn't look a day over 40, but that's very common in this world. All right, anybody else? What would you like to do with downtime?
Yes, I would like to, at some point, see if I can find Zeldana, probably near where she is typically, where the cargo is. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna come up to her and I'll, in a casual manner, I'll just say, I think we need to have a conversation.
She folds up her book. Squish is actually sitting by her side. She sort of gives him a little pat and puts the book down. She says, "We can have a conversation. What about?"
Well, it's about the mist when it it enveloped us.
Yes, I'm sorry about that. I was warned not to open the window, and yet I still did it, and that's on me. I've never encountered a mist storm that powerful before.
Neither have I. I have an uncanny ability to hone in on the mist when the time strikes, and when it did strike, I had the feeling that I was left with the assumption that whatever you were feeling in the moment brought about this mist, almost like you were like a beacon. Does that make any sense to you?
I mean, yes. They always tell you to stay calm in mist storms, and I am having some problems staying calm, and I need to focus more and better. And she closes her eyes, and you can kind of see her very deliberately taking breaths in and out.
I think, for the foreseeable future that we are in agreement with each other, that if you feel a certain way that might bring about more danger to this ship, you need to seek out some kind of assistance, whether you need to talk to someone or whatever it is, because we can't have that again.
Sure, of course. I mean, and Squish climbs up into her lap and she says, Could I be with this one? The Squish. I find their presence calming.
Absolutely. I whoever you partner with is a-okie dokie with me. But
animals are easier than people. I have a hard time with people.
Is any of that have to do with Drizana?
With who? With Tristana?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
I mean, in some ways, our mother was a shapeshifter, and we spent a lot of time with her, and she would often be in animal form when we snuggled, and I always liked animals a little bit better than people. And then, of course, Trisena, when the mist took her, she came back part as a fan, and we were always together. And I'm used to fan, I guess, and animals and shapeshifters, and of course I'm used to being around priests, and many of them only speak when they need to speak, and everybody else speaks so much about nothing.
All right. Well, I had just another follow-up question. This cargo that we're transporting here, there's nothing you can tell me about what's inside of it?
We already discussed the terms of the cargo.
Yeah, the thing is that the mist, me and the mist don't get along. Think of it like bad brothers, bad blood. And I feel that whatever is in that hold, while I do agree to take it where it needs to go, I feel like it might have been a part of what happened a few days ago.
Roll a wit check plus any perception or
the only thing I have is persuasion and arcana.
That's fine. Okay, then just roll a straight wit test real quick.
Okay.
Hey, if you're persuasive enough, you don't need any other skill.
Just on the die itself, it's a 4.
Okay, is that a 4 out of 4 or no?
That is a 4 out of 6.
4 out of 6. Okay. You are looking at her. Something sort of flashes across her face when you say that the things in the hold might be affecting the mist, but you can't exactly read what it is.
Okay. I'll follow up with saying, did you happen to investigate the cargo at least? I mean, you don't need, it seems you're not going to tell me anything, but did you at least investigate it after the fact? Has it been tampered with? Did anyone go in here while you were up on deck?
I check in on the cargo regularly. There's
How?
nothing wrong with it. I've made sure of that.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll leave you with your thoughts unless there's anything you need from me.
No. No, just if there's another mist storm, I will have the squish next to me, and there are some calming teas that Deborah makes, and I quite enjoy them. I will make sure to remain calm.
All right, then. I'll leave you be.
All right. You leave her be. She goes back to her book. She's not doing that strange humming that she often does. This seems like she's taking a break from it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other than the humming, I mean, there's been two instances where Beck has come in contact with some kind of music. Did the music that Gaffrin was playing and the music or the singing that Tristana, is that it? Is that similar in any kind of capacity?
Yeah, it actually has a lot of the same sort of cadence. It even, the eerie music that the Visage Mist version of her sister Tristana was singing also has the same musical quality to it. Roll a wisdom test. This will be a pretty low DC since you've encountered it a few times. Let's see if you can recognize what kind of music this is.
That is a 1.
Oh, that's a critical, so.
And that is a 4 out of 6.
So this was a low DC. It was 4. So as long as you hit the 4, that is a critical success.
Nice.
It was kind of tickling the back of your mind for a while. You didn't. So Aldome is not a particularly religious city-state. But there are different lands that have different types of religions. One of them being Selida. Before the Prophet Wars, they believed, uniformly that someday a prophet would come and remake the world without suffering, with a beautiful world where all is right, and they would enlighten the people about what happened during the awakening and bring secret knowledge and all these things. And that group of people are the sound monks. And the sound monks believe the world was sung into being. They often carry bangles around their arms. They sing often. They hum often. Music is a very big part of their religion. After the Prophet Wars, that sect obviously was either destroyed with the Prophet, those who followed him, and those who did not follow the Prophet either went into exile, or did follow the Prophet either went into exile if they were not killed, or they split off and they became the Sinesta. The Sinesta believe that the prophet that blew apart the world was a pretender, a false prophet, and the real prophet is yet to come. And they're sort of trying to keep the religion in Selida together, despite what had happened with this godlike figure that destroyed most of the continent. So the hymnals that she is singing are from, the before times, before the prophet arrived. She's also singing ones afterward, which are a part of the Sinesta as well. It's sort of hard to get a gauge on where she stands, whether, she follows what is now called the false prophet or the current lore of the land. But she is definitely raised in a religious Selidan household.
All right. That's it for now.
All right. Anybody else?
Report that I have a dance off. Very excited to dance off with Trevor.
All right. You come down from the crow's nest at one point. Trevor is, kind of prying some air barnacles off the side of the ship. When you challenge him to a dance off, he's charmed by this and he says, all right, if that's what you want, old man. And he says, Mom, Come here. Keep a beat. And she says, oh, all right. And she grabs a pan from the cooking area and she starts tapping out a beat. And Trevor actually begins to sing. He actually has a really good singing voice. And he and his brother both know quite a few lake shanties from back in the day. And Deborah kind of hums along. She, leans over to you, Johnny, and she's like, I can't carry a tune in a paper bag, but I do love these songs. And I'm so glad that my sons took after their father. My gosh. And she's pounding out on it. Make a dance test. Mads, please.
All right. So that would be
Grace?
yeah.
Yes, Grace is a dance test. Yes. Let me look at Trevor's stats actually. Doesn't have a dance skill, but he does have a singing skill. So.
Oh yes.
All right.
3.
3?
Oh.
2. You guys are having a little trouble. The boat is moving in the winds. It's kind of a more windy day. So you're kind of like going like this. He's trying to sing and dance at the same time, which is a little hard. But
Tell me about it. I did Cats, the musical, not the animal. Very different.
Crucial distinction.
So you know from experience, singing and dancing, it'd be hard.
Yeah. It's tough to make a career. Go ahead, keep going.
But the mood is much lighter after this begins. Dominic, you're coming fresh off of your conversation with Zeldana. She's so weird and spooky. Like, this is a welcome respite from that interaction. Does anybody else join in the dancing or singing?
Pressure obviously does.
I'll join in with the beat keeping, just like
The
banging
beat.
on different parts of the ship like a stomp routine.
Nice. Crusher's dancing. The Mushkin is kind of doing like a washing machine type move, and its little belly sticks out. Everybody's actually having a pretty good time. And the morale of the ship goes up significantly. I'm going to go ahead and put down here on the Beck and Call ship that you guys right now have some pretty high morale.
Nice.
Dominic, you know you want to.
You see him have an apple in his hand. He takes a bite of it, and he's like, "Nah, I'm not really the dancing type, unfortunately, but I'll watch."
You know what's funny? You're chewing to the beat.
Oh, that did that unconsciously. I didn't mean to do that.
That means you have natural rhythm, my friend. Let those feet start tapping, and when they start tapping, the rest of you will no longer be napping. So come and join us. And I do my best persuasion.
I will try and can I assist Mads by just completely silently stepping up next to Dominic and without saying a word, holding out my hand for his apple core so his hands are free to dance?
Sure. Go ahead and roll with advantage, Mads.
What is that? What is that? What would that be? To persuade him to come in. Would that be?
To persuade him, you could roll a willpower check or a wit check for this.
Well, I guess I'm gonna go with a good old wit check, because oops. Because it's really important.
Mm-hmm. No, this
this could also be a grace test, I guess. That's true. A grace test.
7 for my wit, and if you want a grace, I'll give you a 6.
All right.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, your dancing has actually gotten better as you've gotten used to the movement of the ship. People are kind of around you are starting to chant, Dominic. Dominic.
I'll hand off the core of the apple, and I'll just say I'm gonna want that back. I'm not quite done with it just yet, and I'll go in and I'll try to follow Mads the best that I can, it doesn't look pretty. It looks like someone who's very rigid and is uncomfortable with the experience, especially with a spotlight on them.
Right.
I'm
Also, this
making
type of
sure that
dancing
it's
is-
easy. It's pretty like I'm gonna make it very simple as we can for the style of dance.
All right. You guys start dancing. Not a lot gets done this afternoon, but that's fine. You guys are kind of cruising. You pass the night very pleasantly. As the sun fades into a moon, a little later, Mads, your otter comes up to you, and Crusher is holding up a barnacle that Trevor was scraping off the side of the ship earlier. There's sort of like a cluster of them off to the side, and she hands you one.
Oh, is there anything different about this barnacle than any of the other ones?
Yeah, as you flip it over, on the inside of it is a glowing greenish stone.
Ooh.
You're not exactly sure what it is, but it is glowing. And it is definitely not a normal part of a barnacle. You've seen air barnacles before.
Okay. And I've never encountered or remember seeing anything like this before.
Roll a wisdom check plus any maybe nature skill you have, if you have that.
One.
Critical.
Ooh, let's find out what kind of critical.
So let's see
You're
what
hoping
magic
for
can
5
be
here.
done.
I believe in
Roll
you.
6.
6. All right. That is a success. You are turning this over in your hand, and at first you're looking at it, you're like, this has got to be a gemstone. But then something tickles the back of your brain. So when you awoken, when the beginning of the world, everybody just sort of like woke up, you had found yourself out in the great forest, you and Sarah. And this is actually a seed. It is glowing, likely because an enchantment has been put on it. The type of seed is called, what did I call this seed? Sorry about that. I'm going to my session 3 notes. This is called a sap seed. It's an enchanted seed. It's only found in the Great Forest. And it's often used by the Greenlow people that live in the Great Forest. The Greenlow people are people who, when they awoken, did not go into the cities. A lot of people saw the cities on the hillside when they awoke, and without any memories, gravitated toward those cities. The Greenlow decided to stay back and live off the land. They use them as tracking devices. Often they'll tie, like smaller sap seeds to the end of their arrows so they can retrieve their arrows afterward. Things like that. So this is like a small tracking device.
All right. I'm gonna find Dominic. Hey, Dominic.
You see him with another apple. He's just
You're wow.
I-
Too
I-
many more of those, and you'll be suffering from some poison if you eat the seeds. I found something.
What did you find, Mads?
I found it's a sap seed. It is used often for tracking by the Greenlow people. This one here, and I show it to him, and it's green and it's glowing. This one here was found by Crusher on the side of the ship. Mayhap someone is tracking us.
Who did you say that is normally responsible for these things?
They may be tracking us. We have to be very quiet.
Oh, you know what? You're right. Why don't we just put it in? We'll put it in my pocket. How about that? I'll take that and I'll just put it in
Sorry,
my
what?
pocket.
Speak up, I can't hear you.
We're gonna that in my pocket.
You have a hat and a docket?
I'm gonna grab the thing out of his hand. I'm gonna see if he'll let it go, and I'll go to put it in the pocket.
Very good. Now they're tracking you.
So who did you say was responsible? You said Green what?
The Greenlow people, when during the Awakening, when everyone went into cities, they did not. They lived off the land. They often use sap seeds as a tracking device, way to track perhaps their arrows or their children.
Do you have any
children? I don't know.
No, not children, Mads. Do you have any idea why someone would want to track, or why they would put it on the ship? Like, do you know the political affiliations with these people, or do you know anything that might give insight as to the why?
Yes. And he looks around conspiratorially. Because they want to know where you are.
Well, I don't think that's it. That's a bit of a stretch. You know what? Why don't we ask let's ask the others, see if they know anything that could shed some light or insight as to what might be happening.
It can shed its own light. Don't have to worry about that.
You know what? I just gotta at some point learn what to say. I gotta think before I say it around you. It's just
I thought so.
Right. Okay. Well, Mads, why don't you just let's just go down and find the others real quick.
All right.
All right. You go down and you find the others. Before we get to that scene, it is actually time for a break. Do we have a word from our sponsors at all?
We do. And now this. Many people become bards because they enjoy being a jack of all trades, being flexible and adaptable in pretty much any situation, both in terms of proficiency and morality. But sometimes it seems bards are lacking a bit in the damage-dealing department, especially when compared to our friend the wizard, or the mighty, smitey paladin. Well, here at Bellow Blast Battleworks, we have come up with a way to make all those other fools dance to a different tune. Introducing the Bazooka-Lele, the latest addition to our interesting instruments TM product line. That not only is the Bazooka-Lele a finely crafted musical instrument, but it packs a punch that will leave your opponents literally breathless. Picture this. You and your team are deep in the throes of battle against a mighty foe. It's been a long day, and everyone is pretty low on spells and abilities. You're throwing out vicious mockeries left and right, but it's just not having the effect you were hoping for. The enemy calls for backup, and they all focus on you, because who comes into battle with nothing more than some witty banter and a tiny stringed instrument? That's when you unleash the full power of the Bazooka-Lele. You flash your best smile, hold your pick aloft for one dramatic moment, strum a power G major, and a second later, what was once a mighty attacking horde is now just so much sticky, pulpy rubble. The Bazooka-Lele boosts enough boom to make even the boldest beholder blanch, while still being elegant enough to elate the elite. So stop into Bellow Blast Battleworks today and check out the all-new Bazooka-Lele, or any of our other interesting instruments TM product line, like the Guitarotine, the Melodium of Mayhem, or the ever-popular Horn of Horig. At Bellow Blast Battleworks, we put the later in collateral damage. This message brought to you by Yarsh Entertainment Services. Yes.
Oh my god, I love that.
Oh my god. Oh,
Nothing better than hitting the G.
Hey-oh. Hey, I found it.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. That is great. I really hope that shows up in the next D&D movie and we can see Chris Pine with the Bazooka-Lele. I need more firepower, in my opinion, so I think that would be worth it.
It would. And I gotta say, Pixie had a fun idea in chat about stickers, and I'm just saying, Bazooka Battleworks could be a good fun.
I like that.
But also primarily, we need, in terms of merch, I cannot tell you how much I need a squish That's what I need.
Squish, squish.
I need a squish that I can squish, that I can
Like-
have in the real life and squish.
like this, but like little.
Yes, yes, exactly. I need like one of those, but a little mushroom forest spirit that comes with like his playful otter companion Crusher, and that I can hold in my arms because I want to hold them and I can't, and that's frankly cruelty.
I know, right? And for us anxiety girlies, that sounds so good.
Well, Anxiety Girlies is the name of our two lady pop group.
I love it. We would never go on tour because we're too scared.
No, we did never. We also don't release music because we're also too scared.
What if people don't like it, Rose?
But we imagine music and it's good.
It's so good. All right. Well, Bazooka Lele, I think will be a hit. We have lots of merch ideas. So if you would like to see that happen, you can always donate to Misfit Table. We do have donations set up. Be the first to do so. We have just set it up, and we could use that to get you guys some more little emojis, little emoticons, maybe some more artwork, and yeah. So we're going to go ahead and head into a break, and afterward we will figure out what is up with this tracking seed, this sap seed that was found on the ship. We're also going to be giving out some experience points. So our players here can add a couple of things to their characters. So if you guys are curious how XP works in this game, you will stick around and join us after the break.
And Jareen Corpse, I always want to say corpse, sorry, Jareen Core. He needs like, if you want to name something or something like, oh my gosh, thank you.
Oh, did we get gifted some subs?
Yet more.
Whoa!
Take a look in the chat, my good friend. It is raining subs right now.
Gorgeous.
Amazing. Jareen Core, to which we pledge our allegiance. All right. Tell us how many push-ups we owe you, Jareen Core. Like, we are on it. Let us know.
I will do the push-ups off screen.
I will do them badly on or off screen. Just no promises on actually completing them. But I will try, and that's what matters. Right?
Nerds have honestly really good upper body strength. That's what we're known for.
Carrying all those books.
From all the sports. All right, guys. See you after the break.
Absolutely. All right.
Many
Peace
solutions.
out, folks.
Welcome back, Misfits. Thank you for sticking around. I hope you got a snack. I hope you got a drink. Drink responsibly. We are moving on. All right, so Dominic, you were heading down below the ship. People are actually just sitting down to dinner now that the sun has set. Deborah's ladling out some stew.
Okay. I'm gonna if everyone's not already, and when I mean by everyone, I'm gonna pull Johnny, Mads, and Kyber to a specific table that isn't like in the direct middle, but I mean it's probably a small cramped area. I mean it's not the biggest place, but find somewhere where I can address the elephant in the room.
Mm-hmm. Sure, yeah. So there are multiple tables around. You can just sit at those. You can pull the chairs over to a side.
Okay.
You can find it's actually a fairly big ship for how few people are on it.
Okay. I'll just tell everyone just as plainly as I can. Mads, well, more specifically, Crusher had found something quite interesting on the exterior of this ship. I'll pull it out of my pocket and I'll just slide it over to the table and see what. And I want to read everyone's faces as they're looking at it, just to gauge what reactions there may be.
Sure. Roll a wit test plus any perception.
Ooh, okay. No.
And so, would any of us know what this is?
Yeah. 6.
6. Yeah. If I emailed you anything about it, then you know about it.
Ooh.
So that's a no.
You can't just say that.
Dominic, would you like me to tell them what I told you?
You know what? Yeah, you go right ahead.
I prefer
a risky move, Dominic.
Yes. Well, I told Dominic earlier that I like to sit down when I pee, not to stand up. Because when you're in the mist and the wind flies back at you.
I sit down to pee too.
That's not what you meant. Oh, sorry, Dominic. Oh, about I thought it was weird that you wanted me to tell them that. Yes. Well, this is a sap seed. This is often used to as a location device of some sort. And so I believe somebody wants to follow Dominic's pocket.
Well, he only thinks that because I put it in my pocket. That's not actually what's going on here. He found it, and I'm just curious as to what you guys may know about it. He seems to have a lot of knowledge on the matter, but I was just curious what you guys may think of this.
You rolled a 6 earlier, right, Dominic?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you are looking at Johnny and Kyburn's face. They look as perplexed as you feel.
Roger that.
Where did you find it, Mads?
I'm
sorry, where did you find it?
No, I didn't find it. Crusher found it, brought it to me, and I found it on Crusher. But not that it was actually attached to Crusher, because Crusher doesn't have barnacles. I mean, Crusher sometimes has barnacles, but not attached to her.
Can we crush this part of the conversation and you can rush ahead to where Crusher found it?
Oh, yes. On the side of the ship.
Wonderful. Which side?
Oh, the side that I don't know. Crusher, I want you to take me to where you found the seed sap, the barnacle. Can you do that for me? I'm assuming that's a yes. Everyone, follow me hither and yon.
Why do I have the feeling that Mads made that noise, not Crusher? Yeah, no, I 100% follow them because I want to sort of, if I can, take a look at that where it was found to sort of see if we can maybe get a little bit of sense, especially with Kyburn's knowledge. Maybe we can get a sense of how long it was on that part of the ship, like if there's any discoloration between the part of the wood underneath it or around, sort of just start trying to get a little bit more information based on where it was actually located.
So Crusher takes you over to the starboard side of the ship where Trevor was, wrenching these barnacles off. He's since cleared away the other mess, and you can see the pockets where he was able to take off these air barnacles. Roll a investigation check or perception check with wit.
Okay. Can I assist Kyburn, or is Kyburn coming? Or
sure, if Kyburn's wanting to look as well.
Oh,
I mean, it's your ship.
Usually I deal with the inside of the ship. The outside, that's...
But no one knows this ship better than you do.
Well, that's also true.
Absolutely.
A wit test, you say?
A wit test, exactly.
Yeah. I can help by, holding him over the side so that, it's better. Right?
You hold him over the side. Roll a strength test.
Oh, it's better than
don't critically fail.
Oh, actually, unbelievable. Actually, yeah. Oh no, it's the same as my wit.
We have a harness for this thing, I say as you're picking me up and hanging me over the side.
In fact, they do. They do have, in fact, a harness for getting along the side of the ship.
No, there was no time. There was no time.
It's right here. I just pull it on.
The buckles
Trevor gave me one earlier. I liked it, but I think this is far more entertaining.
Kyber, do you put on the harness or do you let Johnny hold you by the ankles?
I'm going to try, but if Johnny's stronger than me...
If you point out where the harness is, Johnny will absolutely help you into it, and then just sort of try and help control the ropes on the side. Just didn't necessarily think of it in the moment.
We call this game fishing for missed sharks. I'll just strap it on and swing over the side.
You swing over the side. You are looking where the barnacles are. Roll with advantage, since you've got these other people kind of looking with you. Roll with check.
So first was a 6 and the second was a 6.
All right, great. You are looking at where the barnacles are pried off. You see that where one area that's kind of barnacle shaped is the other ones, you see the sun has been beating on the places around the barnacle, right? So it's a little darker where a barnacle got pried off. But one area you see, it's on the normal looking wood that was, beaten by the sun. You see glue, in the shape of a barnacle rim, as well as glue kind of dead center, maybe where the seed was.
Aye, this was planted here on purpose. It's not a naturally occurring thing.
Oh, it's not a plant. It's a barnacle.
Now,
but the sapsi, that's the plant.
That is a plant. Yes.
Kyburn, you did a once over the ship. Did you happen to get a once over the exterior?
Apparently, I missed that part. It was pretty well described. What's the word I'm looking for? Mads, help me out.
Fallopian tube.
Yeah, real close. It was fallopian tube like a barnacle. So I must have missed it in my, the ship's once over before we left.
That's why they call them the ships. They have fallopian tubes?
That's right. It's a well-known fact.
Why would anyone want to try to track us? I wonder.
Well, perhaps it has something to do with that cargo we're hauling.
Or perhaps it has something to do with the cargo we're hauling.
Or it could be that. I didn't think of that.
Mads, that's actually a good idea. Why don't we pay a visit to Zeldana and see if we can find out what exactly is going on, because maybe she might know more than what she's letting on.
I will sort of try and Mads, I love you, but I don't trust you to keep your mouth shut. So I'm going to try and sidle up between Dominic and Kyburn as we're heading below, and just ask them also, since I feel they're slightly more the commanders of this ship, and glancing between them, especially to our Verton, I'll ask Dominic, well, do you speak with her? Would you like me to try and get downstairs quietly and just see what I can see?
I imagine
Distracted?
she'll probably be pretty close to the cargo in question. Uh, yeah, I think that'll suffice. I think we can manage that.
All right. Okay.
You guys come down below, and you do see Zeldana. She is sitting near the fireplace, eating her stew, reading a book.
Okay. I'll approach her with the crew and just I'll say, Zeldana, we have found something interesting and intriguing on the exterior of this ship. And, well, based off of the conversation we had previously, I think this is pertinent. We found this, and I'll hand it to her and see if she recognizes it in any kind of capacity.
Roll a wit check.
Chose the wrong skill to try to do well in. It's a 4.
She looks at it and she says, what's this?
Well, seems to be some kind of tracking device that was planted upon this ship. Luckily, Mad's animal companion was able to acquire it.
A tracking device?
Yes.
What kind?
The kind that people would use to track others.
She squeezes it in her hand a little bit. She's like, it seems organic. And she gives it back to you and she says, just drop it off the side of the ship as soon as you can.
Well, before we do that, I mean, maybe there's a way to trace this back to the source. Might get some answers.
I mean, I don't know how to track it back to its source. I think whatever source it is, it's tracking us. So just drop it over the side of the ship.
All right, we can put it to a vote.
Put it to a vote. Just get rid of it.
Well,
Okay.
he put it in his pocket, so we'd
I'll
have to
tell you
get
what.
rid of him too.
I'll tell you what. I'll give it to her, and I'll say, if you feel that strongly about it, without any further conversation, I suggest maybe you do the honors.
She grabs it out of your hand. She goes over to a porthole and throws it out.
I was kind of hoping you would. Okay, yeah, that's fine too. That works.
I think you read that situation slightly off.
Yeah, I didn't. It didn't play out the way it doesn't matter. Okay, well, I guess that does that.
She says, good. Nothing else was amiss, right?
No, nothing else.
How did you find it? Where did you find it?
It was on the exterior of the ship. Mads can inform you about the location and detail. And then at that point, I'm gonna let Mads do his part, and I'm just gonna go up to the top of the deck to mull things over.
Yeah, she comes up to you, Mads, and she immediately starts grilling you for information.
Oh, very exciting. Go ahead, ask away.
You can lead her to where you found it. In the meantime, what does everybody else do?
I don't know if Kyburn was joining me or Dominic and Mads, but I'm absolutely following up on what we talked about on deck. And while she's engaged in conversation with Dominic and Mads, who I know both have skills in keeping somebody talking, checking out the cargo, because it's important to the safety of this crew to know what we're carrying and what potential risk we're carrying.
Sure. You head down a little bit lower and further back. You can hear the hum of the engine purring away happily. You come to the area where she has put the cargo. It is locked with a rather sturdy looking iron padlock. Metal in this world is actually quite expensive. Most things are like made out of bone and leather and like wood and things like that. So having iron that's why everything's traded in iron, right? It's iron bits and things like that. So this is an expensive lock and it is hardy. What do you do?
first of all, is it kind of just the one box?
You see like a door, and then her bed sort of off to the side in a corner, and you can't see the cargo at all because it's behind a door.
Okay. I'll definitely try the door.
So how
And
are you doing
I have a
this with
stealth
the
roll
lock?
if you need. I have a stealth roll if you need it.
Well, it is locked. The door is locked, so not into her room. So if you kind of go here, I'm gonna show you on here. I'm gonna drop a Zeldana token. She's not really there. I'm making her really big. So this is her area. So you can see it comes to a hallway. Off to the left is her bed. Off to the right is like another door, and that is the one that is padlocked.
Okay. Well, forgive me, my owlbear doesn't feel like actually loading anything other than Navy. So we're going to go old school. We're going theater of the mind.
All right.
And okay, so that everything is locked, but it doesn't seem. So the cargo she's having us haul is not like in our cargo bay, it's in her room.
No, it's in the cargo bay. She just sleeps outside of the cargo bay.
Okay.
There are several cargo areas. This is just the one at the back of the ship.
Okay. So yeah, I think that, I mean, if this is our cargo bay, you would think we would have a key.
Yeah. Is anybody else with you?
I don't know if Kyburn came with me or stayed with Dominic.
Yeah, I'll go with you.
Kyburn, you don't recognize this lock. They loaded the cargo in themselves. It's very likely that they brought their own lock.
Can I pull out the all wrench and form it into a lockpick?
You absolutely may.
All right, I'll keep watch while he does that.
Let me see what kind of test to run here. I'll give you advantage because you've got this, magical artifact. But I'm not sure if you have any lock picking skills. Is that one you took potentially? No, I don't see that. But let's give this a wit check. Let's see if you can figure it out on the fly.
All right. Ooh, an 8 on an 8.
Yeah, your tool shifts into these lock picks. You sort of fuddle around with them. And you're like, okay, I saw a play once. There was a thief in it. They did this, and you have to get the pins in. I think that's right. Pops open. You're able to take it off very easily.
Okay. All right, I share a look with him and kind of nod, and let's find out what's on our ship.
After you.
You go back into that area, and you see several crates all stacked next to each other. They are padlocked shut, but there does seem to be a hinge mechanism on them so that they can open from the side.
Could we unscrew the hinges and lift them up a little ways and kind of peek in and then put the hinge back on without messing with the lock?
So the lock is keeping that hinge from opening, right? So it's like another locked door on the side of this box. So you'd have to figure out a way to take the padlock off.
Would the padlock come off if we just took the hinge off?
Oh, that's what you're saying. I see what you're doing.
Yeah, like just not touch the lock at all in case it's magical and just unscrew the hinge itself.
Yeah, that could work. You'll have to pop the pins out on the hinge, like with a hammer or something. You could
only we had a hammer or some other tool.
That's true. Real quick before you do this, I need to make a roll.
Mm-hmm. No, you don't.
You're choosing to make a roll. Do you really need to?
All right. You could probably hammer these pins out.
Okay. Could we then?
I'll turn the old wrench into a pin extractor.
You turn it into a pin extractor, which is kind of like an ice pick. It can get in there, and you can pound it to get the pin out. One pops out, and
all right,
falls on the floor. The other one pops out,
Gather-
falls on the
gathering
floor.
pins to make sure we don't lose them, and helping hold the padlock up, and just keeping things steady to try and help him out as best I can.
All right. What do you do?
Take the hinges
Open
off.
it.
Take a peek.
All right, you open it up. You open it up, and inside, you aren't quite sure what you're seeing. It's sort of dark in here. There's not a lot of lamplight. There's one window, but what you see seems to be fuzzy. It's like kind of like a rug, maybe, or like a fuzzy pillow. And at first you're like, why are they smuggling? What are they doing with these fuzzy pillows? What's going on here? There's also hay inside and some leaves. And then you see the fuzzy pillows chest go up and down, and it sort of like wiggles around, and you see 6 legs, like slightly furry legs with little hooves, wiggle around as well. And what do you guys do?
Is this something that you recognize? Like, is this a type of beast of which we're aware? This like Sleipnir style thing?
Roll a wisdom test, because not a lot of people have seen what this is.
Okay. Alrighty.
What test you say?
A wisdom test plus any nature or lore of.
Would animal handling do?
Yeah, you can add that, sure.
Okay. 4.
4, okay. Kyburn?
I got a 2.
You got a 2. You guys have no idea what these are. No idea.
I look at Kyburn, see equal blankness in his eyes as my own. Is there any shed hair in the
Yeah, there's some shed hair. There's little bits of yellow fur and little bits of black fur. You can see it has a stripe of yellow kind of along its belly and its back. As it shifts around, you also see a very long stinger coming out of its rump.
Okay, I take the little bit of the fur, close it, and think, wrap this up and get out of here. But I pocket the fur to later ask Agora, because if anybody would know what a weird mystical multi-hooved beast is, hopefully it's my own mystical multi-hooved beast.
Up top, Mads, you are talking to Zeldana. She has started talking and ordering around Trevor and Troy, being like, you need to take all the barnacles off the ship immediately. Get down there and take them off. And they're like, lady, we only take orders from the captain. So why don't we ask him first? And she's like, there's not time. What do you...
Zeldana, what is it you are afraid of? Where is this fear coming from?
Well, I mean, wouldn't you be concerned if somebody was following you?
Well, they wouldn't be following us now. They'd be going down, 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 down.
But that's assuming that there was only the one. They're crafty. There could be more than one.
Who's they?
It doesn't matter. Just get them off the ship.
Do you know what my middle name is?
Probably something kooky.
No, it's pretty simple. Keeps secrets. My full name is Mads Keeps Secrets, no last name. You can trust me. I am here for you, Zeldana. We're friends.
All right, roll a persuasion check. I will roll a wit check for her.
All right.
That will be grace, likely. This is like social graces. So it's not like a willpower roll where you're trying to like overpower someone's will, so.
Well, my angel, my delicate flower. I rolled a 3.
You rolled a 3. She says no. And just turns her back on you. Just No. She says, I'm going to speak to Dominic. He'll understand. And she comes downstairs. She actually comes downstairs as Johnny and Kyburn, you are kind of closing up shop. Roll a grace test to see if you can get this locked up without her noticing.
Okay. Would stealth apply?
Yes.
Okay.
Will be a 3 for me.
3 for Kyburn.
5 for me.
5 for you. Let me roll for her here. Okay. You guys are able to lock it up. She comes downstairs and she's honing in on Dominic. She goes straight to you, Dominic, and does not see you guys locking up her area.
We're making those gestures behind Dominic.
Zelzana, how can I help you?
I want you to order your crew to take the barnacles off this ship. I know there might be 100 or more, but it is prudent, don't you think, to take them off, knowing what we know?
That's true. And I've been mulling things over. I've been thinking about, the origin of a tracker. If anyone's gonna place a tracker, they're curious as to where we're going, which means they possibly don't know we're going to Salida, right? Or they're wondering, what if the airship were to go down and it gets caught somewhere and things need to be recovered, kind of like a black box, if you will. I'm thinking that possibly if there were more, maybe on the interior of the ship. I wonder.
The interior.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, maybe that's a decoy. That's an easy one to find. I mean, if some critter can find it, maybe there's.
Then we should search the ship.
Well, I'm thinking that maybe, yeah, that's that's the direction I'm going with this. Yeah, well, we need to search the interior of the ship.
The interior, not just the exterior.
Probably both, for the best.
Yes, both. Can you give the order to your crew?
You know what? Yeah, I'll me and Kyburn will muster up some kind of working party, and we'll work the normal shifts. We'll start scanning, perusing for more of these trackers and anything else that might come out.
Good. Yes, I will search my quarters and in here as well. And she immediately starts running off, looking under things, looking in pots and pans. And Deborah's like, what are you up to? And she says, look around, woman. We're looking for a green, glowing seed. Understand me? And Deborah's kind of looks at you like, is the mist getting to her again? Like, what's going on?
I think it maybe just be the altitude is getting to her brain. But we recently just discovered that there were some green indicators upon the ship, and we're just looking for more.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat the green indicators?
Yeah,
you describe for what they are.
I'll describe the physical appearance of them.
Oh, yeah, I know what those are. Those are sap seeds. A greenlow use them all the time. They're not really good for super long distances, though. I mean, it depends on how big it is. If it's really small, like the size of a sunflower seed, it's, you gotta be pretty close to find it. Be pretty close. The bigger it is, the farther you can track things. That's weird.
Yeah, well, when I say we, it was found by Mads and his companion and Crusher, and we're just taking necessary precautions to make sure there's no more.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. I mean, it could have been from the previous owner, too.
The who?
The previous owner of the ship. What if they just had them around? I don't know.
Remind me who that was again?
He was this super weird junkyard person. They had the weirdest stuff that they had scavenged from after the shattering. And they happened to have this airship way in the back. They had found it. Kyburn had been on it and was not talking about where it came from originally, and said it was his now. Kyburn didn't seem to argue and just took up residence there. But yeah, it was this like junkyard outside of Oldham.
Okay. I'll find Kyburn and I'll say, Kyburn, I have two working theories here, and I don't know which one to grasp at. Now, knowing what I've just learned, this is a predicament that predates our current arrangement, or it is the effect of the cause of our arrangement. Mads is starting to have an effect on me. I don't know what. I got to stop talking to this guy.
It is quite infectious, isn't it?
I did like the alliteration, though. A predicament that predates us. We're really hitting those P's.
No, don't remind me. We're moving past that moment. Kyburn, I mean, what do you think? I mean, you were here, right? I mean, with previous owners and such.
Well, I mean, the ship's been docked for quite a while. I don't remember seeing any barnacles on it before, but I kind of think that this is probably a new, what was the word you used? Predicament. So probably, maybe somebody found out that our special guest was coming aboard with whatever it is they're bringing with them and decided that they might want to follow them for whatever reason.
Dominic! Excuse me for interrupting. Dominic, do you know what my middle name is?
I have no clue, Mads. I only know that name.
All right, let me tell you. It is Mads Intuition, no last name. I was just speaking with Zeldana, and she said they.
Was there more to that, Mads?
Yes, there was, but I forget what it was.
Okay, so they what? Like they.
She knows who would be following us. She knows it. You know how I know it? Because she knows it, and I know that she knows it, and she knows that I know, and now I am telling you that I know that she knows who they are.
Now we all know that she knows that they know that we're here.
I know! That's why I'm here!
Y'all are doing a lot. Kyburn, I think we narrowed in on our theory here. By the way, if for any reason she, discovers that you guys had entered her space, I'm just going to play as if someone had infiltrated onto the airship and then got away.
You entered her space?
No, what you have to understand, there was a tracker placed on the ship. Of course, we were going to do a full sweep, of the entire ship and its contents, because it's at risk.
I'd rather that we weren't the ones responsible.
However you want to play it, you're the captain.
That might be best. The people that the person, really, I don't know the people, but the person she aligns herself with, mysterious, and I don't know what they're capable of, and I'd rather us not be on the front end of whatever comes from that.
Well, I mean, it would be helpful to know why we're being followed and who's following us. And if she knows, then, well, I think that's, it's the safety of the entire ship. Right? We deserve to know that.
Kyburn, did you really go into her place? Does it smell like walnuts?
No, never saw it set foot in there. None of us did. Nobody did, right?
But Johnny just said that you went in.
That was, what do you call those? I have changed my accent. That's one you call one of them illusions.
It's a really terrifying side effect of the beast that she has in her cargo, that once you've touched it, it like makes you totally change how you talk. But I think we can still defeat it.
You've touched her cargo? And it makes you change the way you speak?
But look,
all right.
All right, rein it in, guys. Rein it in.
It's a passing. It's only a small, limited term effect, but I do think that. Well, Dominic, you're the captain, and you're the one who knows this group. But I wonder if perhaps she might be willing to share that we can protect her cargo better if we know who might be after it. That's not asking after what the cargo is or who it's going to. That's just who she thinks might be after it or might know about it, so we can best protect it. That's trying to do our job for her. Not prying into her business, like just doing our business for her business.
A long-winded way of putting it, but I
agree, but we have to find out who they them are.
Right.
Y'all make some good points. I just I just don't know if it's you know what, I think it's a group consensus here, and I think I'm outvoted, so I think I'll rule with in y'all's favor, and that we need to investigate.
Group consensus. You're the captain. Make a decision.
All right, then yeah, we will confront her in some kind of friendly manner, not as confronting as in a corner, right? You want to find a place that you can casually talk to someone that doesn't come off as threatening.
In bed.
Nah, some might find that threatening.
I don't know what you do in bed. I usually sleep.
And you're not going to find out, Mads.
Oh. I wasn't really. I mean, if you'd like, we could.
No.
What are you doing later?
Guarding the ship.
Yes, of course. Do you want me to search out any nooks and crannies? What? Sorry.
Before you guys confront Zeldana, we're gonna do a little bit of experience points. All right. So when we were developing this system, we wanted to make sure that experience points were linked to how play went, how people felt play went, and improving play on the future. So, not everybody's an experienced role player, so we give out points for certain things, teamwork, things like that. So we're just going to work down the list, and then you guys can use those experience points to, increase attributes on your characters, add some skills, magics, things like that. All right. So the first thing for experience points is attitude and participation. You can earn up to 1 point for this. And I must say, you guys are participating wonderfully. I think you have wonderful attitudes. So I will go ahead and award you guys that 1 point. Let me make a little note of that.
We get the Miss Congeniality Award. That's always been the one I wanted.
So congenial. The next one is heroism. Do you guys feel like your team, is acting heroically or not?
Well, we all came into the battle with the snake thing on the deck pretty gung-ho.
I feel like Kyburn maybe gets that point for like that super sweet kill shot that was like nearly half the points of all in one super sweet swing.
That was cool. I would say yes. I'll go ahead and give you guys a point for heroism. This is for the whole team. Some of them are like individual player based, but these are team based. Role playing, yeah, you get a point. You get a point, guys. You and your talent.
That's why we're here.
That's why you're here. That's why I hadn't selected you.
Just to be nominated.
Creative problem solving. Do you guys feel like you had some creative problem solving, or is that something that could be improved on? What do you think?
Yes, the Kyburn and his tool.
Absolutely.
That's not a phrase that I'd ever say, but
workshop it.
Yeah. Just that the creative problem solving there is spot on. Chad killing it.
Thank you.
I think so too. I think you guys had some great creative problem solving. I'll add another point for that. That means we are up to 4. Teamwork and cooperation. What do you guys think? This is on you.
Oh.
I mean, during the encounter, there was the culmination of the singing and dancing, that trying to sway, whether successful or not, trying to sway the outperform the Farron from messing with people's heads.
Mm-hmm.
There was that endeavor, and then there was also the just now with the infiltration to the locked cargo room, and then so I can think of a top of my head right now.
What I love is that there's action, even when we, I'm going to just put this in quotes, split the party. There's action and initiative, people taking initiative, whatever is happening and wherever we are. It's really, I think it's quite lovely. So I think everyone gets a point.
Yeah,
You get a
no
point.
passive players here.
Can we give chat the participation trophy, because they have been so lovely? They named the ship.
That's
They've
true.
been sharing subs. I've been having a delightful time chatting with them. I think chat is the one.
All right, chat, you get a participation point. Do with that as you will, I suppose. I will also award our intrepid heroes with that point, bringing you guys to 5. So this is one of my favorite ones. This is the failure and learning points. This can be up to 1 point per player. What I want you guys to do is go around, think of a way that you might do things differently in the future, or a way that you feel like you could have role played better, or a way that you forgot something, even if it's like forgetting about on your character sheet, or just a way like you would improve play in the future, and then give an example.
I'm gonna go first real quick. There's room for growth on my part, because, and I told you this after last session when we got off air, I wish I had checked my equipment, because I had a whistle, and if I had seen it in the encounter early on, I would have blown that whistle really loud at the beginning to try something else instead of getting mine messed up by this entity. So that was something that going forward, I'm always glancing at my sheet now to make sure, do I have something here that might prove useful.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing for everybody who plays role-playing games. Just even if you think you know what's on your character sheet, check your character sheet. You never know. Yeah, I'll give you a point for that. Sounds good. Anybody else?
I'll jump in. Sure. I think, there's always places for growth, as I can tell your teacher, Chris. Areas for growth that we all have, but I think definitely something that I'm feeling where I would like to improve, and I hope to improve with the awesome inspiration from all y'all here and in chat, is that I figure we kind of needed a straight man, because we've got some awesome, delightful, enjoyable, and very big personalities, and that is not me IRL, and sometimes I'm struggling to not make the dumb joke I, Rose, want to make, as even though I, Johnny, would not make that dumb joke. And so I think an area I could definitely improve is biting my tongue a little bit more when I, the player, want to be silly, but it's maybe not quite so icy.
That can be definitely hard. Actually, a lot of times in comedic duos and things like that, the straight man actually got paid more, because to get the humor across when you're not the obviously wacky one is quite the talent, and a little hard. So yeah, I will give you that point. Anybody else have one? And you can also say skip if you can't think of anything.
I can totally think of actually something. I need to finish my character sheet. I'm always so busy. I'm like, I need to do this. I need to, and then I'm the worst. So there are things that I could have probably got a plus on, but I've not chosen my skills, so I can't get a plus on it.
Yes, you've got 2 skills here. Maybe we could next week at the beginning put in chat and have people determine what did they think Mads would have a +1
Oh, I
skill
love that.
in, you know?
Love it. Love it.
I
Absolutely
think
love
that would be a really fun thing to do at the beginning of next week. So
I'm
if
all
you
over
guys
it.
want to show up next week, next Tuesday, you can determine what will be on Tori's character sheet within reason. It's not going to be voting the code face. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't know if you saw, but your lovely husband behind the scenes has figured out how to do chat. We or do polls in chat. So we did a poll about who placed the tracker. And so
I
we could
saw
do,
that.
right?
That's
We could
awesome.
do a
Yeah.
poll about what the skill is. We could do polls on who deserves what of these points.
Yeah. So why don't we, while we
Everything in your
discuss
hands, chat.
yeah, it's in your hands, chat. So while we're discussing now, if you have some ideas that we can put in the poll for next week, please drop them in chat right now. I will have the transcript of that. We can have that poll ready to go when we start up next week. So drop them in now. What do you think Mad's 2 skills are? Because he has a D in skills at the moment. So he only gets 2. So choose wisely. Kyburn, or not Kyburn, Chad, because I'm not talking to you actually this time and not your character.
The actual real human.
Do you have a failure or learning or mistake point?
So I guess it's like you can't really count rolls when you roll
No, rolls
poorly.
don't count.
Yeah. But I would say that more trying to tie in the, how do I put this? The environmental backstory of a character, like where you're from. So I've been on this ship and like I have points in engineering and tinkering. So I feel like I've kind of missed an opportunity to paint a broader picture or a more fill in the lines with color of just tiny little modifications that I've made everywhere, and kind of having to you know you might not want to push that button right now kind of stuff, and just helping to build the world and give the ship some character itself.
Yeah, that I'll give you a point for that. I think that's something you could definitely do a little bit more going forward. We have a lot of like character flavor with your tools and like your accent and your attitude, but yeah, like what have you been doing for the past few months on this ship? Like what makes this ship unique that you made it unique? I like that. We didn't elect a team leader or a scribe. So there's no point for that one right now because that's the team role. And there's no end of campaign bonus because we are not ending the campaign. So you guys should all have 6 points. I will share with you a chart. On page 5 is what you can buy. Oh, I can't transfer it from this computer over to this computer, can I? That is not something the capabilities of doing. So I'll just list them out for you right now. You potentially could level up one of your attributes but you have to spend experience points equal to your highest attribute. So remember that like if you have a D10, that's a 5 because it's 10 divided by 2. So if your highest skill is a 10, you would need to spend 5 experience points to level that up 1 dice level, and whatever skill it is. And it doesn't have to be your highest skill, it can be whatever it is, but it has to be costing that much. So if you have actually really low attributes right now, like you put like a D in attributes or a C in attributes when you started out, I would definitely suggest buying your attributes because, you know, it's not going to cost you as much as somebody who started out with a lot of high attributes. But of course, they got better rolls right out of the gate. So it's sort of a balance that way. If you want to buy a new skill, it's 2 experience points. If you want to improve a skill, it is also 2 experience points to level it up 1 stat. You can only level it up 1 higher than your rank. So you could potentially turn one of your +1s into a +2 in a skill, but you'll need to spend 2 experience points to do that. Magical arts are 8. You can't do that right now. Sorry. You'll need 8 points for that.
Can we hoard our points?
What was that?
Can we hoard points?
Yeah, you can. At the end of this, we'll get more points, and if you ever do another campaign, you can buy more stuff. Yeah.
Okay, just
So
curious.
if you don't want to spend these and you just want to hold on to them, that sounds good. I mean, I would always like to play in this world again after this short run campaign. Combat actions. You guys don't have combat actions because you're level 1 right now. What you can do is improve your aura as well. So it's 2 XP for 1 tick of aura.
Okay.
You said there was no combat action? Is that what you said?
No combat actions right now. You guys are level 1.
I keep
Oh,
staring
that's right.
piningly at the list of
I
combat.
know, but good news is after this campaign, if you guys ever come back, you will be at level 2 with these characters, so you could have combat actions. And they only cost 2 XP to buy, so
Nice.
yeah, they're nice. You actually have to use combat pool for most combat actions. So that's why also combat pool becomes very important. And there's also types of combat pool. So we have 3 different types of combat pool. There's rage, control, and energy. And certain combat actions require certain types or certain amounts of those types of combat pool. We actually have these little blocks that we hand out when we're in person running these games for kids. And a different color corresponds to like what they are.
Can I have a block just because I like blocks? I'm not a kid, but I like tangible rewards.
If I could pass them through the screen, I would. I mean, you have the clicky clack, but you have the clicky clacks, the little dice for you. They'll have to scratch that itch for now. So is there anything that anybody would like to get? I can help you with your character real quick.
Tori. I would. I want to change my grace. I want to get higher in my grace.
All right, let's open up your character sheet. Your grace currently is a 4 or a D8. Your highest attribute is a 12, so you will need to spend 6 and you only have 5.
Oh, well, we gave it to the chat. What were we thinking?
No. I gave one to the chat in addition to yours. You're good.
Listen,
right.
The chat is our lifeblood. They deserve it. Plus, it's funny to watch people fail. Haven't you ever seen America's Funniest Home Videos? If we just are failing all the time, that's a great stream, right?
I mean, his grace is still a D8. That's actually pretty good. Above average.
Bust your butt.
Kelly, is it? I'm looking at the leveling up, spinning XP slide. It says 8 for art, but if I'm just trying to up a spell, is that still 8?
That is a good question. So this sheet with the XP is for what our current system is. We're running right now what the system is going to be in the summer with the kids. So that one I will give to Ashton. Oh, sorry. I missed something. Thank you, DM in the sky. You have an A in attributes, Mads. So you actually have the talented name role, which means your attribute upgrades cost less XP, 1 less XP to attribute level. So you can level up your grace. It is actually on here and I missed it. I'm sorry.
No, that's fantastic. I'm very excited.
I'm sorry. Before that, Dominic, you were asking how much magical art is. Ashton, with this new magic system that we have going, is it still 8 to buy a new magical art? I'm assuming yes, because magical arts are very powerful. But I'm not sure. Can he buy a spell? Because he's an A level magi. Oh, we're not. Okay. What did you say? How much it was? Because you spoke and I was expecting you in chat. Okay. So there you go. You can buy an art. You can't hear
the audience just thinks we're
voice.
talking to our heads.
Yeah. There's a magical voice in the sky that's letting me know new system updates because we're going through a big old overhaul before the summer because we've got a lot of summer camps coming up. Which are most like at least half booked, half of them. So, all right. Yeah. So Dominic, Chris, you can buy magical art. If like again, those are in progress right now. So you just let me know what you want, and we can make. If it's not built, we'll build it.
I kind of already have an idea of what I would like to do.
Yeah. What is it?
I'm probably gonna go aura.
Aura magic's great. Like, I don't remember what you get at the beginning level, but I think it's actually already built. I might be wrong on that, so we can
Yeah, you guys sent me a PDF. There's like
great.
there's aura sight, there's mana burn, there's transfer aura. There's like the first 3 that you get access to.
Yeah, aura magic's really cool. I like aura magic. Anybody else?
Ooh, I'm pretty torn. I think I'm probably going to basically up an attribute by 1, but I'm kind of like torn between whether I want to go strength or grace. And I have a question for you, which is that so if I have the twin blades, then is that something where long term it kind of go more in terms of does grace or strength affect damage more, or are they like does it matter?
Sure. With the swords, strength is always going to be your attack, grace is always your dodge, and it's not affected by your sword unless your sword, no, grace shouldn't be affected by your swords. Armor affects grace, so if you leveled up your armor to something heavier, it might affect your grace, but yeah.
Okay. And the parry aspect of them, is that a skill I have to take separately from swords, or is it just something I can do with them?
Voice in the sky. All right, parry is a trait of the swords. What does that do system-wise? Like as a DM, what am I doing here? Oh, support. Oh, it's a supporting skill. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so you can use your swords to support dodge as a supporting skill, but supporting skills are only at level 2.
And I would need the initial dodge skill for that to work.
Yeah, you would need the dodge skill. So what I would say is right now, you can up your attribute, but a new skill right now is 2, I believe. So you wouldn't quite have enough to do both. Yeah.
Didn't you say? I thought we had 6. Do we have 5?
You have 6? I thought you have 5.
We have 6.
We have 6.
Oh my god, why did I write down 5 tallies? Never mind. You're good. You can take dodge and you can level up whatever you like. Your highest attribute's a D8, so it's just 4.
Love that.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna also take dodge, but then put the rest in aura. So 1 point for a skill, or 2 points for a skill, and then 4 points for 2 points of aura, right?
Yep, that's right. Lovely, lovely. All right, beautiful, beautiful. Anybody else?
Oh, so actually, that is a question. So I put my A in skills. Like, is there a limit to how many we can get, or just as many as we want to buy?
No, there's no limit to skills. You just start out with more, and you can start off with a higher one if you have an A in skills. I'm wondering if they cost less too. Let me just check that. No? Okay, yeah. So skill priority doesn't affect how much they cost. That's just with an A in attributes. It affects it for an attribute. Because attributes are expensive, so that makes sense. All right, so I think that's everybody. I think everybody spent the XP that they wanted to spend and kept the XP that they didn't. It is past 10 o'clock, so we are going to have to find out what happens when you confront Zeldana next week. Thank you to everybody that stuck with us. I hope you show up again next week. Please like and subscribe if you were entertained at all. We are also putting all of these episodes up on YouTube. If anybody would like to subscribe there as well, get notified when they're getting put up there. Maybe sometimes your Tuesdays are busy and you miss one. You want to keep on track. Also, if you would like to donate, we have a donate button. And if you would like to hire me to do art of your D&D character, you can email me at Callie@storytables.com. Again, that's Callie@storytables.com. Also, check out all of these fine players, all of these fine people. You've got some different social handles you can check out. A lot of our beautiful music is provided by Off the Beaten Path Musical. They do commissions for magical fantasy, science fiction music based on your campaigns. Just check them out. They have an awesome playlist. They are now on Spotify. You can check out the whole bit. DM Fitz here is Chris. He's on TikTok. Talking about all of the D&D nonsense, as am I, as Story Goddess. And Chad Yarish, chadyarish.com. He's an excellent voice actor, excellent actor, and I am so happy to have him here. And then Rose is just a great person.
I'm just here. I'm here to hang out with you guys.
He's your own brand.
Yeah, what I offer is my presence. I don't understand technology. I've had so much hand-holding just to be here with you guys today. I don't understand how Instagram or any of that stuff works, but I'm lucky to have some awesome friends who are like, hey, do you want to play super cool systems with us and learn cool stuff and get to see amazing actors like do their thing? And I'm like, absolutely. So I'm consider me, dear sweet beloved friends here. I am your audience insert. I am here with you, just so excited to be here. And
good cheerleader too.
Absolute pleasure.
Yeah. I'm just gonna make you a business card. It's like Rose Meadows, hype lady. Professional hype lady.
Exactly. Rose Meadow, just happy to be here.
Just happy to be here. Love it. All right, guys, we're gonna let you go. Some people are in later time zones and they need to go to bed. So
good night.
Thank you for joining us.
May the mist guard you through all your sleeps.
Nope.